Santa Fe is a very country town that probably has more livestock than people.
There has been another school shooting in America, this one in Santa Fe, Texas, outside of Houston.
I always thought, you know, we're pretty safe. I don't think that it would ever happen here, but there's always that, what if that one kid takes his daddy's gun?
Law enforcement sources say there are multiple fatalities following this school shooting at Santa Fe High School in Santa Fe, Texas.
On May the 18th, I have never, ever wanted my .45 pistol in my hand more than at that moment in time.
On May 18th, I woke up late, like usual.
The night before was our powder puff game. You know, we all had fun, juniors versus seniors. Seniors won by 30.
We were about 15 minutes into first period.
I walked into a practice room. I told my friend, I said, hey, like, I'm gonna take a nap in here because I don't feel good. It's kind of falling asleep, like that period between you're like almost asleep, but you're still awake. So you can hear the things going on outside, but your brain's not really like processing it.
The fire alarm goes off. We had a fire alarm like the week before, and so I was like, okay, everybody, like, grab your stuff. This is probably a real fire. We need to get out.
And I remember, like, I woke up and like there was flashing lights coming in through the window of the practice room.
So I'm running, and where I was, we were really close to the door, so me and my friend were like one of the first people out.
I heard some commotion in the hallway. I thought there was a fight going on, and I'm nosy. And when I walked out, I saw like a bunch of people like screaming, and then I heard a really loud noise. And that's when I saw somebody go down. I don't know if it was a kid, I don't know if it was a teacher, but somebody fell. And I just thought I was dreaming, whatever.
Daniel Vaughn, who is a social studies teacher at the school, he is a retired veteran. He came running around our corner and said that there was an active shooter, there were gunshots, and go into lockdown.
I ran back into the band hall and I said, what's going on? The kids in my class were just saying, someone's shooting, there's a school shooter. And I was just like, what? Like, I don't understand.
And so we walk out, and my history teacher, Harms, is yelling at us to run.
Our band hall's right next to the art room. We could hear the screaming, we could hear the gunshots. They were really loud. We could feel it in the floor, like the vibrations.
I had all the students back behind my desk, out of the way, out of any potential gunfire.
There's a staircase that leads upstairs to the AC control room. My band director shut the door. There's 4 kids and me up there. One of them is on the autism spectrum, and he was freaking out because his mom's a teacher. He's freaking out because, like, I mean, who wouldn't freak out? I just looked around and I was like, hey, does anybody want to pray? And even the kids who they don't believe in God, they were just like, yes, let's pray. I can't even remember exactly what I said, but I just know we were praying that, the kids in the hallway and where we could hear it happening were okay, and that the shooter something would change in his heart, in his brain.
At that point, we just all hide behind Indian Automotive, and we're writing our names down, because everybody has to write their name down on the sheet so that people can be accounted for.
The fire alarm went off, like it stopped. And as we're walking down, we see like, I don't know if they're SWAT or what, and they were just like, leave your stuff, put your hands above your head, and follow us. And then they said, don't look down, because you're gonna see a lot. Nobody really can prepare you for that. And so we start to walk out in a single file line, and there's like pools of blood everywhere. We don't know whose it is. Down the hall, there are kids just laying on the floor, like dead kids. And I think that was the first time that it like hit me. Even though I had seen what I seen, like it hadn't hit me. And that's when I started to cry, like tear up, but I was trying to keep this boy calm, and he was freaking out. I remember accidentally stepping in some of the blood, and I was just like, I looked down and I was like, oh my God, like, I don't even know whose this is. We're walking out and he grabs my hand and he said, you know, I want my mom. And I think that's when I lost it. I was like, yeah, I want my mom too. 8 of our students died that day, and 2 of our teachers. 13 other people were shot, but they did not die. I think the media has treated us completely unfairly. They came to our town expecting us to throw these rallies and, you know, march for our lives and lay on the ground and with posters, you know, like, that's not what we're doing. We don't want to wait around and protest for change. We want change, but we don't want outsiders coming in and forcing it upon us.
It was a boy who stole his dad's guns. And I know that some of them are advocating for people to lock up guns, but I feel like locking up guns would go against the Second Amendment, even if it's in your house. I feel like that's an infringement, because if you have a burglar come in, what are you gonna tell them? Like, hold on, like, there's a burglar, let me go get my gun out of the safe.
Most of everybody here has grown up with guns or seen a gun or shot a gun.
Most everybody knows how to shoot a gun. Then they know, like, the #1 rule, you know, don't point it at anyone, don't even pick it up, act like it's always got ammunition in it.
Guns, yes, have been used to do some awful things, but guns don't kill people. People kill people.
This boy tried making bombs. If there were bombs that gone off, you blame the bomber. If there's a drunk driver accident, you blame the drunk driver. You blame the person, you blame the human. But if it's a shooter, you blame the gun. And that's what society is doing here.
You don't have to be okay with guns, but I guess you have to respect that people are. Most of us are scared to speak up because the people on the other perspective, they're mean. You know, they almost bully you into joining their agenda.
You think what sick are out there that want to continue to sell more guns, murder more children, and honestly just get reelected? What type of person are you when you want to see more money than children's lives?
They care more about the support of the NRA than they do about children.
But thoughts and prayers are not a substitute for action, and pretty much all Americans want action on this.
Thousands joined together near Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School.
I'm sick of our schools being targeted as places where people can just get shot up when they're supposed to be learning.
The fact that our community has a different perspective solely on guns than Parkland is ridiculous. Because if you take the gun issue away, we're all fighting for the same thing. We all want change. Set the gun issue aside and work on what we can.
A lot of us do believe that there is a problem as well. It's just that what we believe in being the problem is not the same as media. So a lot of us do want change. Most everyone's change is just not gun reform. But nobody sticks around long enough to ask us what that is.
I think everyone knows that the media portrays a certain political agenda that they choose to go with. It's not a political agenda that the majority of Santa Fe adheres to. I want all schools safe. That's it. We can agree to disagree on how to go about doing it. I'm open to different solutions. Our schools have to be safe.
I think we need to lock doors. You know, this door that he came in was a bus entrance that was unlocked.
I can tell you I have thought long and hard about the arming of teachers. I don't think that's the end all, by any stretch. I don't think it's the magic answer. But I will say this, I truly wanted that pistol in my hand. Now, just speaking generally for me, I would do whatever training is involved. I would do that. That would not be an issue. I think, quite frankly, that it could be done in a very safe manner. I think the weapons could be stored in a safe manner. All that would have to be done, but let's face it, it's another line of defense against evil.
Protecting your students from a school shooter should never be part of the job description. It should never be, your job is to teach the curriculum and test your students and also be willing to take a bullet for them. That should never be the case. But I'm willing to take that risk because, I mean, who wouldn't?
So we had orientation last week, and the very first thing we did was, let's do an icebreaker. Tell us who you are and where you're from and what you're studying. And I was like, oh great, I'm gonna say Santa Fe, and everybody's gonna be like, and I was like, my name is Grace, and I'm from Santa Fe, and I'm majoring in history. Everybody just kind of like looked down. Some people didn't know, and that felt good to me because like I didn't have to explain. I could just say, oh, I'm from Santa Fe.
It's still, you drive past the high school and you think like, why us? Why, like, how did this happen, you know? And a lot of us are Christians, so a lot of us have been leaning on God a lot during this time. And with processing it, I feel like I still haven't processed it, you know? Our mission statement is we support a movement of love and kindness as well as pushing focus towards mental health because we believe that mental health is a big deal. We have to change people's hearts and people's minds, how people see each other, just the whole respect thing in life.
It's hard to think that that happened at our school because we're such a tight-knit community. And it's hard to think that like the fine arts wing is never gonna be the same. The students in the fine arts wing are never gonna be the same. We saw things that people shouldn't ever have to see.
I never got a last day. I never got to sleep through my finals because I had exemptions, you know. I ran out of the classroom. Growing up, I don't even know if we locked our doors. And that's just how it is here. I feel safe everywhere. Most of my friends, like, we have never not felt safe. And so I think that that's why it did hit us very hard because we are a tight-knit community. We do love each other. We do feel safe with each other. And all it takes is one person and the devil, really, to try and bring a divide. And what you saw in Santa Fe is that it did not divide us. It brought us closer together.
Santa Fe will bounce back. We will be stronger than ever because to not do so allows evil to win. And no one in our community will even consider that situation.
One of the substitute teachers that lost their life on May 18th. Used to, her and her husband came to our shows quite a bit, and she always requested that I play a Jimmy Buffett song. And so this was her favorite one that I always played. And this would be for Miss Ann Perkins.
Watch the man who rode you switch from sails to steam in your belly. most of